What's up, everyone? China McCarney here. I'm the founder of the Athletes Against Anxiety and Depression Foundation, and we are back on another Mental Health Monday, and this one is going to be fun because I don't have a plan, and you're going to go on a little journey with me over the next 5 to 10 minutes. I am going to try to remember the most painful memories of this mental health journey that I've been on. I had my first panic attack 14 years ago in 2009 when I had hair. I'm wearing a hat for a reason. I had no idea that it was a panic attack at the time. I thought it was a heart attack. I went to the doctor. They told me it was a panic attack, and it was one of the most demoralizing events because it was like your brain betraying you, and you really didn't know what to do about it. I didn't have really anywhere to turn. And so for 6 years, I suffered in silence, abusing alcohol like crazy. I still battle alcohol dependence to this day. I didn't know where to turn for help. When I finally got help with therapy in 2015, this massive weight was lifted off my shoulders and off my chest. I felt like I could breathe double the capacity, but it didn't solve anything. I shouldn't say it didn't solve anything. It solved me being able to be vulnerable and not giving so much power to the anxiety and the panic attacks. But it wasn't as if I went to therapy, got some tool, and then, no more panic attacks. I still deal with panic attacks. I just have more experience and realize I'm not going to die when a panic attack hits. What I wanted to try to do with this video is really paint a picture for people that maybe don't deal with this, or people that have judged other people when they talk about panic attacks, or just like, just suck it up and be tougher or whatnot. I want to paint a true picture of what it looks like in the real world, because I think most people want to hide this because it's embarrassing. And that's anybody that knows me or has listened to any of my interviews on podcasts or anything like that. I'm not hiding anything. Here I am, and love me or hate me. Hopefully we can come to some common agreement, because I love people and love interaction, but I feel like disagreements help us grow and help us learn as well. There have been times, I'm just going to start rattling off some of my worst memories I can remember. At my worst, I was dealing with really bad stomach issues at a time, irritable bowel syndrome, as they call it. When I would drive over 30 minutes, especially if where I was driving was anxiety provoking, like we used to do clinics for my day job, Jaeger Sports, my awesome career, and we'd perform in front of people, which was fun. But it was anxiety provoking. It sometimes would give me panic attacks. And if I was driving more than a half an hour to those clinics, there were some close calls, going into some nasty gas station bathrooms and just feeling so uncomfortable, helpless, and just like, is this ever going to get better? And luckily and thankfully, that does not happen anymore. What made me break down, the worst story that I had, was I ordered food from the Habit, which is very close to my house now, which is interesting because I didn't live near this Habit at the time. And so I get to see this awesome place often that has such a significant part of my mental health journey. But I ordered food on the app. It was ready, and I could not physically get out of my car to go get the food, right? I was so debilitated by the panic attack that I couldn't move. I just started crying, and that's what made me go to the text from my dad. He had reached out a little bit earlier and said, hey, there's therapists near you if you need to talk to somebody. He's always been incredible and supportive, and I'm hoping to do one of the podcast interviews with him to talk about the mental health journey and how it affected everything, because I'm sure as a pops who was so supportive and wanted the world for me, it had to hurt him when I didn't take advantage of certain opportunities because of anxiety, because of panic attacks and stuff like that. So poopy pants, not being able to go get food. This one happened multiple times. I would go shopping. So for a long time, I did Amazon Fresh. I did anything where I didn't have to leave the house because I wanted to go to work, go home and sleep. Go to work, go home and sleep. Because at work, I could distract myself, so I felt okay. And when I'm sleeping, so I felt okay. When I would go grocery shopping, I would go to the Target near my house. I'd start to fill up with groceries, with grocery shopping. I would get overcome, feel like I was going to pass out, pins and needles going up the back of my neck. I could not be there anymore. I had to get out. There was like this massive escape phobia. I had to always have an escape route, and I'd just leave groceries. I can't tell you how many full bags of groceries. I'm just trying to get toilet paper, toothpaste, and I can't physically sit in line. I can't do that. I've done that at restaurants as well, where I'll be in a line at like a Subway or something, let's say. It feels like fight or flight. Like if you've ever been in a fight and you feel that adrenaline start pumping through your body, that's what happens to me during a panic attack, is I start to feel that kind of from the bottom up, start to feel elevated heart rate, and then I feel like I'm going to pass out. A lot of people will say, and this has happened to me, that your hands and feet will go numb. And the science behind that I've read is when you go into fight or flight, your body sends the blood to the important parts, right? The organs and different things. And so you might not have a lot of blood in your hands, a lot of blood in your feet. Yeah, the amount of times I've felt lightheaded and like I was going to pass out, which is, I think, why I developed the escape sort of mechanism, because if I was going to pass out, I wanted to do it somewhere not around people because of embarrassment, which rationally I know that's ridiculous, because if I did pass out somewhere publicly, people would be concerned and try to help me, I'm sure. The other negative stories I can think of off the top of my head, like I said, I wanted to do this almost for myself as well as paint the picture for others, is I have lost countless friends because of countless no's to invites, right? They'd invite me to a party, invite me to movies, invite me to races, invite me to sports games. And for 5 years, I couldn't do anything in public because of social anxiety and everything. And so after a while, the invites stopped coming. When you're dealing with a really bad mental health journey, you kind of isolate yourself, or at least some people have a tendency to isolate yourself. That's what I did, and I lost countless friends. There was a cousin that invited me to their wedding. I said yes, that I would go. The night before, I started panicking because I hadn't been to a wedding in a long time. I had rented my tuxedo, everything. I ended up not being able to go. I wrote her, I wrote her a message saying I was not going to be able to come, and I would pay for my plate from the wedding, and I had a gift for them, cash gift. And a couple days later, she damn near made me commit suicide. Let's just be honest. She said I was incredibly weak. I can't believe her and her husband were so embarrassed that I didn't come, and they had a special bottle made for all the guests, and it was insanely inconsiderate that I wouldn't come. And I had let her know that it was because of a panic attack and different stuff like that. But that opened my eyes a bit to, if you're in a really bad spot and somebody says the wrong thing, you can see why the suicide rates are so high. And I'm so glad I didn't take any action, but that one broke my heart in a way. And I haven't talked to that cousin who I was very close with since that day. So you can lose relationships. A lot of people lose their life, which is why I'm so passionate about it. But this is something that you think about, you carry with you every day. And if you haven't dealt with it, and somebody you has, or somebody you know has, compassion, grace, and gratitude can go a long way, because they're trying their best. I'm trying my best every day. I still struggle with alcohol because alcohol falsely turns my brain off. And that's the one thing I'm fighting really hard on right now. I hope this video gives a little more clarity onto how it could affect your daily life. And if you're someone that hasn't dealt with it, imagine not being able to check out with groceries. Imagine not knowing if you're adult and you're going to shit your pants. Imagine feeling like you're going to pass out every time you're in public, and what that would do to your overall mental health and how it would just affect your life and the people around you. But that's why I do it. Try to inform, be vulnerable, and just try to create a real world community around mental health where we can support each other, love each other, show compassion and grace, because people are dealing with all kinds of things, not just mental health wise, hatred, racism. There's a lot of stuff to bear out there, and we just got to be nicer to each other, nicer, more compassionate to ourselves. Be the change you wish to see in your life. We will see you soon for another daily mental health video. Appreciate all your support. If you like this video, or I made you laugh with almost pooping my pants, hit the like, hit the subscribe, support the channel. 100% of the funds raised at AAAD go towards creating resources. I do not pay myself. I have a great job outside of AAAD. So all of this is for the passion and to help people. So support AAAD. Appreciate you. Be the change you wish to see in your life. Love yourself. And we'll see you soon. See ya.